Audio Jungle.
Thank you all for coming today within a short notice. I remain Ikenga Imo Ugochinyere, the member representing Idaho North and South Federal Constituency, and the spokesperson of the Opposition Lawmakers Coalition in Nigeria. Thank you all once again for coming. Let me start by hailing the judgment of Honorable IPC Igwe of the Rivers State High Court that have held that the local government election coming up in Rivers this Saturday, October 5th, is in compliance with the law and should go ahead, and also ordering that the 2023 INEC register should be used and all security agencies should be part of it. It's very important that I take a few minutes to read this landmark judgment from Honorable Justice IPC Igwe for my viewers to understand the import of that judgment and the huge constitutional backing it has given to the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to proceed with the election as planned on Saturday. And it's also important we understand that RISEC is empowered under the third schedule of the Constitution, paragraph 4 of part 2, and also section 197. In that also, I will read that it said, the State Independent Electoral Commission shall comprise of the following members, and goes on therefore to say their major function is to organize, undertake, and supervise all elections to local government councils within the state. So this is very clear. And it's very clear because of some people who are trying to give wrong interpretation to the powers to conduct this election. And also, let me go back to what I was saying before, which is to, first of all, the opposition coalition commends the Rivers State Judiciary, especially the Rivers State High Court, presided over by Honorable Justice IPC Igwe, that delivered a landmark judgment in the case brought by Action People's Party against the RISEC and the Rivers State government on the conduct of the election, which the court, in its great wisdom, has affirmed that the election is constitutional and must go on Saturday. So let me read the order that is made. The order that is made by the Right Honorable Justice IPC Igwe, sitting at High Court 14, that upon the construction of Section 7, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, the Rivers State government and the governor of Rivers State are bound to make adequate provisions for election into local government councils of Rivers State and ensure that the affairs of the local government councils in Rivers State are conducted democratically. That in view of Section 7, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 5A of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law number 2 of 2018, the decision of the Supreme Court of Nigeria delivered on 11th day of July 2024 in the suit number SC/CV/343/2024, Attorney General of the Federation versus Attorney General of Abia State and 35 others, and going by the expiration of the tenure of the former democratically elected local government councils in Rivers State on the 17th day of June 2024, the defendants are bound to conduct election into the local government council in Rivers State within the shortest possible time in order to comply with the aforementioned judgment of the Supreme Court. That it is further declared that in view of Section 5 of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law number 2 of 2018, Section 9 of the Electoral Act 2022, and the exigencies of the decision of the Supreme Court of Nigeria delivered on 11th day of July 2024 in suit number, as I have mentioned before, the first defendant, that is the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, is entitled to utilize the National Register of Voters for the 2023 general election compiled by INEC, pursuant to Section 9 of the Electoral Act 2022, already in custody of RISEC to conduct election to the 23 local government councils of Nigeria. This National Voter Register, which is also a constitutional right for RISEC to access, going by the provision of the law, and which INEC has also given to RISEC. RISEC is already in custody of that, because our political parties that are participating in the election, all the opposition political parties, have also confirmed to us that RISEC is with the voter of register, and most of them, the political parties, have also been given that voter of register. And me, my humble said, they have also sent that to me. This is the national voter register used in the 2023 general election, which the court in its judgment has ordered RISEC to use, and which is also in custody of RISEC. So, and also in custody of all the political parties in Rivers State. So this is just to help to divert the minds of people who may be confused about whether there's a register. Political parties participating in the election, all the opposition political parties are in custody of that, because it has been given to them by the electoral body, and the court have also ordered that it should be used for that election. So this is it. That it is also declared that in view of the decision of the federal government of Nigeria following the said judgment, in suit number SC, like I have mentioned before, delivered on the 11th day of July 2024, to the effect that all states without democratically elected local government councils in place should conduct election into their respective local government council within 3 months from the date of the aforesaid judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The defendants are bound to conduct election into local government councils in Rivers State on or before the expiration of the said 3 months period on the 5th day of October 2024, and to take all necessary steps towards the conduct of the said election, including sale of forms to candidates and their parties, including the claimant who is interested in sponsoring candidates for offices in the local government election. So I also have to explain this before we continue with the judgment. What the judgment delivered is also saying is something that all of us already know, that the Supreme Court, in its landmark judgment, have already said that election must be conducted in all the local governments in states where the election have not held. That is a Supreme Court judgment. So if any other court in Nigeria, being pushed because of interest of Wike people, goes and said he's now interpreting when the election will be held, suspend the election and hold it in 10 months or 1 year time, that judgment, with all due respect, is baseless when you measure it with the judgment of the Supreme Court that have said that every state must conduct election within the next 3 months. And now, if anybody is sitting to now say that you can shift your own to 1 year or 2 years time, NJC needs to look into the operation of that court. So let's go to 2. That an order of mandatory injunction be made and is hereby issued, compelling the Rivers State government and the governor of Rivers State by themselves or by their agents, servants or representatives to make adequate provision for election into local government councils in Rivers State, and to ensure that the affairs of the local government council in Rivers State are conducted by democratically elected local government councils. 6. That it is further ordered that mandatory injunction be and is hereby issued, compelling the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct election into local government councils of Rivers State on the 5th day of October 2024. Let me pause here. This is why the election on Saturday is sacrosanct, immovable, strong like the rock of Gibraltar, cannot be moved front or back. Not only that the judgment of Honorable Justice I.P.C. Wike have declared so, the Supreme Court have also declared so, and the directive of the federal government that if you don't have these councils running in the next 2 months, you can't even access the state allocations for those local governments. So that election on Saturday is as strong, and I repeat, as the rock of Gibraltar. There is nothing, whether Wike group likes it or not, that can stop that election. Now, and let me repeat it again, that clause in that judgment, that it is further ordered that mandatory injunction be and is hereby issued, compelling the first defendant to conduct election into local government councils of Rivers State on the 5th day of October 2024, or on any other date fixed by the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission in accordance with the electoral guidelines, in order to comply with the Supreme Court judgments and to take all necessary steps towards the conduct of the said election, including sale of forms to candidates and their parties. 7. That an order of mandatory injunction be and is hereby further issued, directing and commanding the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to utilize the National Register of Voters. This is the National Register of Voters, which they have also given to all political parties, already in custody of it, So those who are running from one federal high court in Abuja to another federal high court in Boronu, where they are seeking for injunction, the people that are participating in that election already have the national voter register, and I have it too. That an order of mandatory injunction be and is hereby further issued, directing or commanding the first defendant to utilize the National Register of Voters for the 2023 general election compiled by INEC pursuant to Section 9, 1A and 4 to 6 of the Electoral Act 2022 to conduct the election into the 23 local government councils of Rivers State. 8. That the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Army, and other security agencies and paramilitary organizations are hereby ordered. Let me repeat it again. It is very important that the police also hear that there is an order on them to do the needful. Even if they choose not to do the needful, it cannot also not stop the election. It cannot. That the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Army, and other security agencies and paramilitary organizations are hereby ordered to provide adequate security and ensure maintenance of law, peace, and order during and after the election. So it is left for the Inspector General of Police to ensure that his men are fully mobilized for Saturday, October 5th, 2024 local government election in Rivers State. Likewise, the DSS, the Civil Defense, and other security agencies that have been ordered by the court. Because of this is very important, because of people parading rumor that police not be, let police not show that they are working for those, the pro-Wike group who doesn't want the election to hold. But it's also important I say this, that because this election is like the Rock of Gibraltar, sacrosanct, empowered by the judgment of the Supreme Court and the judgment, the landmark judgment of Honorable Justice IPC Wike, the election will go on if you choose to show manifest bias. If you want to show manifest bias, that is your business. The people of Rivers will troop out on October 5th and hold their election. So it's very important I say this. Given at Port Harcourt under the seal of the court and hand of the presiding judge, Justice IPC Igwe. This is the judgment of Honorable Justice IPC Igwe, which I have just read. And also, it's very important that I also read for those who doesn't know, and those who are still running, even up to this, I know even by midnight they will still be running from one federal high court to another, they're in Boronu. So for those who are running around, still looking for where to obtain an injunction while others are campaigning, campaign will end on the 3rd. Let me also read an extract from the Supreme Court judgment. For federal high court judges who are still listening, and those who I know still have that integrity and honor to stand for what is right, let me also read an extract from that Supreme Court judgment. An order from the Supreme Court that the Federation of Federal Government of Nigeria to its relevant officials forthwith commence the direct payment to each local government council on the amount standing to the credit of each of them, except those who are not democratically elected. Last, an order of immediate compliance. Let me read it again. That is Supreme Court. That is Supreme Court. But because people have over the years assumed that culture of impunity, that they can be running from one court to another looking for judges who will try to misinterpret the law in pursuit of things they have lost. People still believe they can do it. This is Supreme Court, and I will read it again. An order of immediate compliance by the states through their elected or appointed officials and public officers with the terms of this judgment and orders made in this suit, and successive compliance by successive state government officials and public officers. And what is this order? What is it order? That local government election, as a matter of compulsion, must be held now and immediate. And that's why the federal government issued that if after 90 days you don't hold it, you cannot even get your legitimate allocation. Then suddenly the federal high court judge will say, no, that election cannot hold. You wait till the next 100 days or 200 days because somebody somewhere is filing such an application knowing that it is dead on arrival. But we thank God that there's still honorable justice like Honorable Justice IPC Igwe, who has spelled out in clear terms and backed up that Supreme Court judgment by saying that that election must be held as declared by the Supreme Court and in compliance with the the River State electoral law. And notices, if you go to section 20 of the River State Independent Electoral Commission, the law that is guiding it, it said the commission shall, not later than 90 days, not less than 90 days before the date of an election, publish a notice stating the date of the election and appointing a place at which nomination papers are to be delivered, and publish notice in each ward where election is to be held. That notice, as you are aware, was published and pasted in all the wards. That notice was also published even in national papers. But some people are still going to court looking for another to say, stop the election. There was no notice. What is asked here is just publish a notice, and that notice was published. So that have also been complied with. That's the reset law, the law backing them. And I also read for you the third schedule, part 2, paragraph 4, that it is their function to organize, undertake, and supervise all elections. So when people say, oh, is INEC that should go and do the election or guide the election, I keep wondering, where are you getting that from? Until the constitution is amended, which process we've already started as lawmakers, there's no other thing other from what I have read. And I also taken time to read for you the judgment of the Supreme Court that have made the conduct of local government election a matter of compulsion. So when I tell people, I said, the Wike group have never believed in this electoral process because to them it wasn't about the election. If you remember again, there was an agreement that was reached in the meeting the president called where they wanted to resolve the Rivers matter. One of the agreements they signed was that local government election must be conducted. Wike signed that. They all signed it. Now they want to do the election now. Your people are running from one federal high court in Abuja and Gusau and Maraba looking for injunction. You asked for the election. Now, another moment, they said, okay, they changed the law and said those whose tenure have expired, the other ones their tenure have expired, the local government chairman whose tenure expired, that they can stay in office for another 6 months or whatever. Why? Under which law? So, laws are being changed, judicial interpretation is being given just because of one man pursuit. When has Nigeria gotten so small to that extent that one individual will want to throw us into judicial darkness because he's looking for a way to put a puppet that he can be controlling, like the way you open a cock of wine in River State? That's what our law should be changed. Our legislation should change like overnight. Before you wake up, it's changed. You say you're working for President Bola Tinubu, and I say it's not about Tinubu. What this Wike group have always want to do by banding Tinubu is to see if they can acquire some feeling that those who are little, really liver can say, oh, because they're working for the president, let's allow them to do impunity. No. They're all pushing their survival. So they want to keep dropping the name of the president so that they can continue to use it to attempt the impossible, which is to remove Fubara from office. That's what it's all about. If not, how can you sign a peace accord with the president that the election must be held? They want to hold the election, you go to court. How can you sign that a peace accord? You're extending the tenure of people whose tenure have expired. You want former local government chairmen to stay in office even when they are no longer elected. I think that is not enough. Your president filed a case at the Supreme Court to show how President Tinubu attaches importance to this issue of LUG autonomy. He went extra mile, even against his own party members and the opposition, and filed a suit at the Supreme Court to insist that there must be local government election, no matter how bad it is, but there must be local government election, and allocation must go directly to the people. I may not belong to his party, but that is commendable. But his minister and his supporters, the supporters of the president, goes back to a court looking for an injunction to torpedo the Supreme Court judgment that said the election must be held, and also to torpedo the presidential directive and executive order that if you don't conduct these elections, you cannot access your local government allocation. And then the Wike group is now running from one court to other to undermine their president, undermine the Supreme Court, and then tomorrow they say they're working for president. These guys are just finding a way to survive. They're just finding a way to remain afloat and get what they have lost. And that's why I took time to read the Supreme Court judgment that have made the conduct of Saturday election like that of, Mountain Everest, Rock of Gibraltar. It cannot be moved front and back. I don't know why they don't get it. Is it that when they do this or they drink something, so that their supporters can... What is all this about? Those who are doing this, what do you want to achieve? Now, like I've said before, the timeline for this election is as given by the Supreme Court as given by the law setting up the State Independent Electoral Commission, as given by the River State Independent Electoral Commission law, and also as given by the directive of the federal government that if democratically elected local government is not in place, they cannot access the allocation. And it's also important I say this. Over 15 states have done local government election. Everybody's in a race. Yes, the process may not be perfect in some of the states, but something has started, courtesy of what the president did by going to the Supreme Court to get that order that election must be democratically elected, to get that order that if you don't do it democratically, you cannot get the allocation of the state. The rest is for us lawmakers and Nigeria to now change the law to ensure we make the process more independent. But others don't even want it to happen, and there are those who are working for the president. Now, this time lies in line with that judgment of the Supreme Court, is in line with that directive of the federal government, is in line with the provisions of the enabling legislation setting up the River State Independent Electoral Commission. Now, let me also repeat this for those who are joining us, that Honorable Justice IPC Igwe have delivered a landmark ruling ordering for the conduct of the River State local government election on Saturday, 5th October, in the next few days. It did not stop at that. The Honorable Justice said clearly that the Nigerian police, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense, the Army, the DSS, and other security and paramilitary organizations are hereby ordered to provide adequate security and ensure maintenance of peace, law, and order during and after the election. So the police should be there. Now, it did not stop at that. It also ordered that there should be, it should also issue the mandatory injunction that the 2023 INEC register of voters for the used in the 2023 general election should be used for the conduct of the election. And the River State Independent Electoral Commission is in custody of that register, and also political parties have also assessed it, and some of the political parties have also sent it to me. This is the national National Register of Voters used in the 2023 general election, which RISEC is already in custody of, and political parties are also have also gotten it from the electoral board. It also goes further to say that mandatory injunction be and is hereby issued, compelling the River State government and the River State governor by themselves, servant or representative, to make adequate provision for election into the local government election on October 5th, 2024. So in the next, today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In the next 4 days, this election will happen. But I must also add here that it is time, it is long overdue for the NJC to order for a forensic audit of all judgments, injunctions, that is numbering over 32, that have been issued since this issue started in River State. The Wike group have run to every court known in this land. And when they go, these cases are assigned to particular judges. If it is filed by 2 p.m., by 2:30 p.m., it is assigned before 4 p.m., injunction is issued. Ask for the records. Collect all of them. Don't do like you're not hearing it. After most people, the new NBA president, that is the things you should start doing now. Judiciary is being undermined. It's being ridiculed. Nigeria have never had it so bad because of the ambition of a group of people. So NJC should order for the case files of all others. There's one that we issue, they run away. There's one that we issue injunction, they will abandon the case. Expert applications that the CJ, Federal High Court, have said should not be issued on political matters, they have issued it over 15 in this pro-Wike group fight against Fubara. It's time for the NJC and NBA to set up a forensic team to go and carry the file. Don't pretend you don't know what is going on there. And look at them. If they have problem with their wife, there's an injunction waiting for them. No, you can't do this because you don't own the judiciary. This is the sacred property of the people. It is after, if you don't have a God on earth, what you have is the decision of a judge. Should be God-like. To inform you also that we still stand and still agitating that the PDP should wake up from sleeping and ensure that the provisions of the PDP constitution is complied with, and that provision is Article 45 and Article 47. that said that whenever vacancy exists or occurs in any offices of the party, the NEC shall meet and appoint an acting replacement from the zone where the former occupant originated. Look at what happened in Edo, an election that the PDP won landslide. But across the room in Edo there, members of PDP, or those who belong to the Wike camp and their leaders, were in one hotel directing how the results of their own party will be changed. That was when I saw Governor Fintiri, yes, shouting that the real result should be announced, and then seeing him in Port Harcourt again, praising Wike. I tried to ask, I don't want to be tempted to assume, were you spying there? Because what were you doing in Edo and what are you doing in Rivers? Where do you stand? Those who want your party to be defeated, those who want your party to be removed, are your best friends. And then I heard him say that Damagu can stay in office until he finishes a term that he was not elected for. And I will, with all respect, is my friend, and I want to read this section for Governor Fintiri. I know he's watching. To look at chapter 6, article 45, where he said, in the case of the national chairman, he shall hand over to the deputy national chairman from his own region, who shall, without prejudice to section 47 sub C of this constitution, act as national chairman pending the election of a replacement. What did this section say? What this section say, before I go to subsection 47, is that the only reason Damagu can be in office is that once that vacancy occurs, he gets into office for one purpose, to act so that a replacement is appointed. I want Governor Fintiri to read it with me. He should read it with me. Because when he said that Damagu can remain in office till 2027 or thereabout, I said, from where are you getting it from? The constitution of PDP is very clear. He said that whenever this vacancy occurs, the deputy chairman will preside and call a meeting for the purpose of fulfilling. Look at it again. Let me read it. Because at times when they do this, I say, what pushes people to doing all these things? Let me read it again. In the case of the national chairman, he shall hand over to the deputy national chairman for his own region without prejudice to section 47C. What is 47C that the constitution is talking about? Let me read it. And I want Governor Fintiri, Governor of Plateau, and Governor Makinde, who seems to have not understood this section, to read it with me. And I will read it again so that they follow me while I go to 47. In the case of the national chairman, he shall hand over to the deputy national chairman for his own region without prejudice to section 47C of this constitution. So let's read 47C, dear Governor Fintiri, Makinde, and my friend Caleb of Plateau. 47C says, where a vacancy occurs in any of the offices of the party. I repeat again. Where a vacancy occurs in any of the offices of the party, the executive committee at the appropriate level, that is the neck of our party, shall, the word there, I will mark it, is my book, shall, the word there. I want Governor Fintiri back in there and my good friend Governor Caleb to look at it. The word there. That where a vacancy occurs in any of the offices of the party, the executive committee at the appropriate level shall appoint another person from the area or zone where the officer originated from to serve out the tenure of the officer. Governor Fintiri, is that difficult? So where did you say Damagu should remain in office until whenever he decides to go, and until the tenure expires by next year or next 2 years? The constitution of our party under Article 45 has said Damagu can only act without injury to section 47, which is can only act pending the fulfillment of section 47. So a long time ago, not up to 1 month that he's in office, he should have convened a NEC meeting for the purpose of fulfilling Article 47C, which said that the North Central Zone, it's not Central Zone now, a small zone, or children you people can undermine like this, that the North Central Zone, the NEC will be called and an acting chairman taken from the North Central Zone, where the former occupant, who was the former occupant? The former occupant was Yachuayu. Apart from being a constitutional president and requirement. It has also been our tradition. When Okosile's Nwod also left, there was Bulafo or something. When Adamu Muazu left, when Bamanga left, Atiku for 7C was applied. Bamanga left after he was appointed. Adamu Muazu became acting. Later on, Alimodu Sheriff became also acting from the same Northeast zone. Is it not the tradition? Even in our North-Central zone, is that not still the tradition? Damade, Amadou Ali, the same position. So it has been tradition. It has also been constitutional. Even in the position of national secretary, the same thing applies. That is the tradition. That's why we can have Obula for secretary, or John Madekwa secretary, all from the east, because it's the same thing. So it is constitutional, it is also traditional. But then because the Wike group wants Damago to remain in office, which is an insulting political pursuit, then you follow him. And I ask myself, when you injure this party like this, are you considering some of us and other people who are going to run on this party? When you look in it national, how is different candidates in different parts of the country going to survive even state assembly election?
Rekindle the PDP spirit once again. And also, in conclusion, I will want to commend the opposition coalition, want to commend Honorable Justice IPC Igwe for the landmark judgment that have said that in view of the judgment of the Supreme Court, that local government election must be conducted, that the October 5th Rivers State local government election must hold, is as strong as Rock of Gibraltar and Mount Everest. It cannot be stopped because it is constitutional. It is under the influenced by the order of the Supreme Court and the directive that without conduct of democratic process you cannot access the money. So there's no going back, and I will repeat it 3 times. There's no going back. There's no going back. There's no going back on Saturday, 5th October 2024 Rivers State local government election. And also there's an order also which has now ordered the IG of police. And I know they always watch me at police headquarters when I'm speaking, that the police should ensure that there's adequate security, both the DSS for the election on Saturday. And I will also add, if you choose to show manifest bias of following the Wike group, which I know you not do, but if you choose to do that, that the election based on the Supreme Court judgment, based on the Constitution, based on the landmark judgment of IPC, will still do what? Go on Saturday. I commend all the political parties that have been campaigning vigorously. I see some of them on TV. It's a show that the democratic process is on and will happen on Saturday. And while you people are campaigning, some people are running from one federal high court and state high court campaigning for injunction to stop people. But God has put them to shame, going by the judgment of the Supreme Court, going by the judgment of Honorable Justice IPC Igwe that has said that election must be held on October 5th, which is this Saturday. So today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in the next 4 or 5 days. So in conclusion, let me also appreciate the First Lady, Senator Tinubu, for the beautiful dress she gave to us. I received my national dress. I commend you for that. At least we should have something that keeps uniting us together for the overall good of our family, and help to ensure that all this noise and tension that those that are working for your husband are bringing to Rivers State is laid to the good, so that this dress can continue to be seen on some of us. Thank you and God bless.
Audio Jungle.